So for this build, we're going to be using the NFT method. And what this requires is either a 4-inch drain pipe or a 4-inch PVC pipe. Here we're using a drain pipe. And what we're going to do is take the 10 foot, it's 10 feet in length. And what we're going to do is we're going to divide it in 3 sections. And we're going to mark it at 40 inches. Each section is going to be 40 inches. So we're starting here. We have our first 40-inch mark. And then we're going to move on down. We're going to measure it from where we last left off at. And then we're going to place another 40-inch mark right here. And this is going to be separated in 3 equally sized pieces. And how we can cut it up is by using a jigsaw. The jigsaw has small teeth, so it allows it to cut the drain pipe without chipping it. If you use like a circular saw, and then it's a big chance that it's going to end up chipping the material by the time you get inside. By the time you finish the cut, it's going to have some type of crack. So here we have all three pieces, 40 inches in length, 4-inch diameter. Now what we're doing here is we're marking out the spacing between each NFT slot that we're going to cut out. So we're going to mark down the spacing starting from 3.5 inches from the top, and we're going to put a mark there, and we're going to space our crops out 8 inches for this particular build. Now you can space them out however far you want. I would recommend not going any lower than 8 inches, but you can space them out 12 inches, 16 inches. But here we're doing 8 inches. So we're going to mark, we had a mark at 3.5 inches. Then we have another mark at 11.5 inches. Then we have another mark at 19.5 inches. Then we have another mark that we're going to place at 27.5 inches. And then our last mark is going to be 35.5 inches. And that will give us all of the spacing for this 40-inch drain pipe that we have. So we can have a proper measurement of exactly where we need to cut our holes and drill our holes when we get ready to use our hole saw. So now we're using the hole saw. This is a 3-inch hole saw. We're going to be using 3-inch net cups. 3-inch net cups. You could use 2-inch net cups, but it's just you have to have a longer root. You have to have a longer root on the plant for it to touch the bottom of the water, for it to be in contact with the nutrient concentrated water. So we're drilling here. You want to do this in reverse, counterclockwise. If you do it clockwise or the normal drilling motion, then you have a chance of injuring yourself when the hole saw teeth catch on to the drain pipe or the PVC, whatever that you're using. So then so afterwards, usually the part that we just drilled out is stuck in there. So you want to just take that off. And then from there, we can just begin drilling the rest of the holes and going down the line and getting all of the holes drilled out. So now we have our holes drilled out where we can fit our NFT cups, our net pots in. And now what we can do is turn the pipes over. We want to turn them over because we're going to drill the a drainage point inside of these NFT channels. So we can start here by placing a mark 2 inches. It's going to be 2 inches from the top, and you want to make sure it's directly behind or directly opposite of the first hole that we drilled on the other side. You want to make sure it's not crooked or anything like that. You wanted to make sure it's right behind it, so we have an accurate drainage point. So once we get all of these holes marked down, what we can do is use a 1-inch hole saw. That's what we're going to use, a 1-inch hole saw to drill holes in the back of the channel. And once again, we want to make sure we're drilling counterclockwise. Yes, because you don't want to injure yourself, because it will jerk really hard if you do it clockwise. So once we finish drilling up all of these holes inside of the system, what we can do is take these seals or these grommets here, these are 1/2-inch grommets that we're going to place inside of that inch hole that we just drilled. So we'll place these grommets in here, and they're going to help prevent leakage from water that's going to be ponded in the area when it drains down back into this area. So these are really necessary to have for this portion of the build, most definitely. So we have all of them put inside and in place now. What we're going to do is this is 1.5 inch PVC. We're going to cut 2-inch pieces. We need 3 of these. 3 of these 2-inch PVC pieces we're going to cut up, because these are what we're going to stick inside of those grommets that we just cut out, or we just inserted. And then these are going to attach onto another piece in the build, another piece of the drainage portion. So we're cutting these up right now using the PVC cutters. Then we're going to install these inside of the back of the channel. Now, when you're installing these, you want to make sure you're holding onto the grommet piece from underneath while you're pushing down on the top, because if you just push down straight on the top, the grommet is gonna fall through. It's gonna fall through. So it just needs a little bit of stability, which is why you have to hold it from the bottom and then push through it. It takes a little bit of effort to put it in, but it's not really anything too challenging. And you can see you can adjust the level however high or however much water you want to be stagnant inside of the system. You can adjust it at this point, and then you can either have a lot of water by adjusting it high, or you can adjust it low to where it doesn't have that much water. And in this build, we're gonna be having a small amount of water in there, about 1/8 of an inch. So we can put all these together, these 3 PVC pipe pieces with the grommets, and then that'll be satisfactory for this portion of the build.